Hello, today we're going to talk about non-finite verbs. Let's cut to the chase and I'll give you the examples first. Making is non-finite verb. Is making is a finite verb. Made could be either way, could be a finite verb or non-finite verb. Is made is a finite verb. So what's the difference? So to easily distinguish between finite and non-finite verbs, we could use this method, this way. So if something ends with da, that's a finite verb. And if something doesn't end with da, that's non-finite verb. So if something doesn't end with da, it should end with something like this. 하기 위해, 하는 것, 하는, 되는, right? So things like this are called non-finite verbs. They're from verbs, but they got modified into something else. That's non-finite verbs. So that's why I want you to mark them with green, which are kind of like toned down version of blue, right? So I want you to mark verbs, finite verbs with blue and non-finite verbs with green. Okay. So here we have an example sentence. The boy making the cookies is making boxes made of paper. You see here? So here we have making, right? What do you think? Does this end with 다? 만든다? Do you think this ends with 다? 남자아이가 쿠키를 만든다? No, that's wrong because ing is not finite verb. It is a non-finite verb. So firstly, we need to mark this with green, and we have something that follows, right? So here, making the cookies is a set of words, right? It's a group of words, and making means 만드는 actually. So it is not 만든다, right? 만든다 is makes in English. It is not 만들고 있다 either. 만들고 있다 is what in English? The boy, yes, is making. Do you see the difference? So making is not 만든다 or 만들고 있다. It is always 만드는. It doesn't change. Okay? You cannot change the meaning. Even if the sentence looks like it, right? Don't just guess the meaning. You have to follow the exact rules of the verbs. That's why we're studying this, right? Or else it would be pointless if we studied this. Okay, let's move on. And we have now is making, right? Is making is a finite verb. Didn't end here, it goes all the way over here, right? Is making boxes. Is making boxes. What does it mean? Is making means 만들고 있다. boxes를. And how about this one? Made. From earlier and from the example above, I said made could be either right? So if the verb made is in blue, that is, hold on a second, from make, made, made. So make, made could be translated into Korean as 만들다, which is a base form. 만들었다, past simple. And what is made, the third green, made in Korean? What is made in Korean? 만들어진. Actually, it is 만들어진. So it doesn't end with 다 like everything else. So this is not a finite verb. It's a non-finite verb, which is 준동사, right? 준동사. Okay? So as I said earlier, made could be either way. If it is blue, it means 만들었다. If it's green, it means 만들어진. So sometimes you have to make a choice between these two. Okay? Here we have made of paper. Of paper means 종이로. 종이로. What do you think made here means? Do you think we should mark made with green, or do you think we should mark this with blue? What do you think? We could try either way, right? So if it's 만들었다, does this sentence make sense? The boy, 남자아이, 쿠키즈를 만드는 남자아이, 만들었다 박스를, 만들었다 종이로. It doesn't really make sense, right? How about now, if we recognize this as non-finite verb, 만들어진, does it make sense? 남자아이, 쿠키를 만들고 있는 남자아이는 박스를 만들고 있다, 종이로 만들어진, right? So this makes perfect sense, right? So this is why I want you to distinguish between blues and greens, which are finite verbs, the actual verbs, and non-finite verbs, verbs that are modified into something else. Okay? Let's move on. Okay, let's talk more about these green non-finite verbs. Okay, here I presented you with ing and ed. These are a little bit complicated and tricky, so the more you get used to this, the more you understand English. Okay, let's try this. So ing could mean many things. Firstly, it could mean 하는 것. It could mean 하는 or 하면서, right? The first one is called gerund, the second one is called present participle, and the third one is called participle phrase. But you don't need to really know that for now. Okay, let's move on. Bing can be translated like this. 하고 있다. This should be 하고 있다. Right? So 하는 것 should be green, right? 하는 should be green because it doesn't end with 다. 하면서 is green. But 하고 있다 is blue. This is an actual verb, finite verb. Okay? Do you see the difference? The actual verb of the sentence is marked with blue in my class, right? And some other stuff like 하는 것, 하는, 하면서, they're from verbs, but they're modified into some other forms. These forms are marked with green now. Okay, let's move on. ed form could mean 뭐뭐 했다, right? Or just 된, 뭐뭐 된, or 되면서. bpp means 되다, right? So 뭐뭐 했다, it ends with 다, so it should be marked with blue, right? 뭐뭐 된 is green, 뭐뭐 되면서 green, 뭐뭐 되다 blue because it ends with 다, right? I'll give you an example. So if we have making, what does it mean? So in the context, according to the context, it could mean first, 만드는 것. Second, 만드는. Third, 만들면서. Right? It could mean one of these three things according to the context. How about be making? Means 만들고 있다. So making, if making has the meaning 만드는 것, 만드는, 만들면서. They're in green, right? So I guess ing is always green. However, 만들고 있다 is marked with blue because it ends with 다. It's an actual verb. So being is always a verb, a finite verb. Okay. How about made? So made could mean one of the three things that are presented in the left side. Firstly, it could mean 만들었다. Second, 만들어진. Third, 만들어지면서. Right? How about be made? It means, what does it mean? 만들어지다. Right? So how do you mark 만들었다? Which color would you use? In blue, right? Because it ends with 다. How about 만들어진? It doesn't end with 다, so it's green. 만들어지면서 doesn't end with 다, so it's green. 만들어지다 ends with 다, so it's blue. So I guess made could either be blue or green according to the context, whereas be made is always blue. As I said in the earlier lesson, BPP is always marked with a circle as a whole. It's one thing. Let's regard this as one verb, even if it's two verbs. Okay, let's move on. Do you know the baby sleeping in bed? The baby is sleeping in bed. Sleeping in bed, the baby seems so comfortable. The best cure to fatigue is sleeping. So these example sentences, with these, we would like to learn more about ing forms, I guess, right? So we have sleeping here. Do you think this is green or blue? How would you mark it? So do you think this ends with 다, like 자고 있다? Or 자고 있는 것? What do you think? So here, what we did wrong is we guessed the meaning, right? Don't guess the meaning. So if you see here, ing doesn't end with 다, right? It's always in green. So it should be one of these three, not this. Okay? It's always like this. It doesn't, it's not different according to the context. It's always like this. Okay, just focus on the form. Let's erase this a little bit. Okay, let's start over. So we have sleeping. The ing form has one of these three meanings, right? So sleeping could mean 자는 것, 자고 있는, 자면서. Which one do you think it is? Yes, it's the second one. Okay, let's move on. Now we have the baby is sleeping in bed. Now we have is sleeping. As you can see here, this is always blue. Is sleeping. Okay, so this means 자고 있다. The next one, we have sleeping in bed. As I said earlier, sleeping, ing is just ing is always in green. So it could mean one of the three things here. But which one? Try all of them, okay? So if we try the first one, sleeping in bed, 침대에서 자는 것, 아이는 편안해 보인다. If we try the second one, 침대에서 자는 아기는 편안해 보인다. If we try the third one, 침대에서 자면서 아기는 편안해 보인다. Yes, it's the third one that's correct. Okay. Next one, the best cure to fatigue is sleeping. Fatigue is 피로. 피로에 가장 좋은 치료는 is sleeping. So here is the trick one. So we have the same is sleeping here, but actually they are a little bit different. Okay, let's try it. If we see this like this, what does it mean? It means always 자고 있다, right? Because we saw this as is ing form, present continuous, right? But if we see the context, if we see the meaning in the sentence, it says 피로에 가장 좋은 치료는 자고 있다. It doesn't make sense, right? So I guess this is not right. So it must be something different, right? So we could try this at this time. What if sleeping is just one and is just one? What do you think? So is means 뭐뭐이다, right? And sleeping could mean one of the three things. 자는 것, 자고 있는, 자면서. So which one could be right? 피로에 가장 좋은 치료는 자는 것이다. Oh yes, the first one is right, right? So do you see the difference here? Here, is sleeping is just a verb, a finite verb, a blue verb. But here, is the verb and sleeping is a non-finite verb, right? So that's why we have the difference here, okay? We have the same words but different in meaning. That's why I would like you to draw lines in different colors, okay? This is how we see sentences very thoroughly in many levels. Okay, let's move on. We have the last 4 example sentences. Here we want to try the ed forms. Okay, let's practice them. Here, firstly, we have ed, destroyed, right? So let's try and understand the sentences first. They are rebuilding the city. 그들은 도시를 재건하고 있다. Destroyed by the enemy. So as you can see in the above here, here ed could be either blue or green, right? It could either be a finite verb or non-finite verb. And BPP is always a finite verb. You see the difference here? Okay, let's get down there again. So again, they are rebuilding the city. 그들은 도시를 재건하고 있다. Destroyed by the enemy. As I said, destroyed could be either blue or green. If it is blue, what does it mean? Let's see, I write it right here. 파괴했다. Right? How about if it's green? 파괴된. Which one is right? They are rebuilding the city. 도시를 재건하고 있다. 파괴했다. 파괴된. 적에 의해서 파괴된. Right? So, at this time, the correct translation is 파괴된. So you should mark this in green. Okay? How about the next one? The city was destroyed by the enemy. Was destroyed is just one verb in blue, which has the passive meaning. So it is, what is it? 파괴. And it is in past simple tense. 파괴되었다. 적에 의해서. Okay, are you following? How about the next one? Destroyed by the enemy. Like I said, it could mean either blue or green, right? If it is blue, it means 파괴되었다. 파괴했다. If it's green, 파괴된 or 파괴되면서. Which one is correct? What do you think? 파괴했다. 적에 의해서. 파괴된 적에 의해서. 파괴되면서 적에 의해서 파괴되면서 그 도시는 this is right. Right? So 파괴했다. 파괴된 isn't right. 파괴되면서 I guess is the right in this context. So let's erase this. Mark with green and the correct translation is 파괴되면서. Right? 적에 의해서 파괴되면서 그 도시는 재건될 필요가 있다. Let's see the last sentence here. The enemy destroyed the city in the war. So, like I said, it could be either blue or green, right? If it's blue, 파괴했다. If it's green, 파괴된 or 파괴되면서. As we could see it here, ed could mean one of these three things, right? That's what I did here. You see it, right? Okay, so which one is right? The enemy가 적이 파괴했다 도시, 적이 파괴된 도시, 적이 파괴되면서 도시. I guess this one is right? This one? Okay, so let's erase the rest of it. But at this time, we have the noun that follows. So it should be marked like this. 적은 도시를 파괴했다. 전쟁에서. Okay. So today we learned how to mark with greens. So in my lessons, green means non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs, okay? Greens. And the difference between greens and blues are very important. So you should be very familiar with this. Okay, so that's it for today. Thanks everyone.